Hi everyone, Amy Posadas with Transformative Health 180 and Meraki CrossFit, continuing our Meraki movement series, and Jess is bravely demonstrating the foam roller today. So we have it set up between the rig because sometimes it helps for movement on the foam roller to actually be in between a door frame or to have a stable couch or chair within reach to help with some of these movements. So when you're having some of this displacement from the floor to grabbing onto something, that's what we're demonstrating here. So all of this takes practice and just finagling. Again, it shouldn't hurt. It may be uncomfortable, but as you're coordinating your breath with the movement, it should be getting easier as time goes on. So we're gonna start with the calf. So as you can see, she's using her opposite calf to help push. She's stabilizing with her hands here, but if your wrist was sore or you weren't able to hold your body weight with that, you could again have your hand on a door frame or on a more stable surface that helps to offset that pressure. Notice also that she's having her foot flexed. I always want you to keep in mind that whenever you are stretching or working that soft tissue, that you're working on having that particular tissue on a stretch as well. It will more effectively work that tissue out. So then we're going to move up to the hamstrings, which is the back of the thigh. Yep. So you can do one at a time or you can do both at a time. This is, again, tends to be a little more difficult, so go ahead and grab both hands. Okay. Yeah, and you can straighten both legs if you want. Yeah. So, and then as she leans forward, keeping both legs straight with the toes up towards the knee, that helps to, again, work both hamstrings out. Depending on how tight you are, you may not tolerate leaning forward and you may have to stay back, just depending on where you're at as far as your mobility currently. And then we're gonna roll to the side for the IT band. So the bottom leg is gonna be straight. We're gonna offset that pressure, taking that leg, and it can be behind or in front, either way. And then you're also displacing that pressure through the upper body. Again, keeping the toe up towards the knee so that this bottom leg is nice and straight. And then we're keeping it in line with our shoulder as well. And Jess is doing a really good job of breathing too, because particularly this one, if you're not breathing on it, then you're fighting it and it defeats the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. And then go to the quads, so the front of the thighs. And this you're actually gonna be on your elbows. Yeah. So maintaining that plank position, you can have your legs straight, or if you are feeling like this is pretty easy with your legs straight, go ahead and bend your knees. There you go. And she's doing a great job of keeping this nice and straight in her lower back. So if you feel like you're sinking at all in your lower back, then straighten your legs again until that loosens up. So ideally, I would want you to do this on all of the legs or both legs, but we're gonna focus on this side, so for time. All right, go ahead and sit on top of the foam roller. Yep. And so the glutes, they tend to get a hard workout whenever we are continuing to remain active. So it's really important for you to continue to keep those muscles nice and loose. So you can go ahead and, yep, you can have both hands on the door frame so that you're getting both at the same time. You can weight shift and go ahead and lean. Yep. And you can reach across if you want to. So that way, this leg that's closest is relaxed, so you're loosening those glute muscles, and this leg over here on the opposite side is the pusher. So you can better work those glute muscles. And then you can also take this ankle on top of the opposite knee. Yep, like that figure 4. And so you can either hold on to something as you do that, or you can, yep, put your hands back, whichever is most comfortable for you. But it is important through the more difficult, more uncomfortable portion of this movement that you are exhaling and that you're taking your time. So after you've worked out both glute muscles, we're gonna deep breath in as you're sitting and then exhale and go ahead and work it all the way to the top of the spine. Yep, make sure that you don't get your hair or a hoodie in the foam roller. And then you're gonna do about 5 rolls right here, just staying on the top part. So again, combining movement with that stretch. So to go ahead and do a couple of snow angels with your arms. Again, slowly exhaling. You can also give yourself a few hugs. And as you're rolling up and down, you can feel how those tissues are moving. And you may even rotate a little bit this way if you find a tighter spot, or to the other way. So I just don't want you to think that there's only one way to stretch out those tissues. And then go ahead and take it up to the mid part of the back, and you can stabilize a little bit with your hands on the floor if your abs aren't strong enough to hold you. Trying to relax your head and your neck as best as you can. And then propping up on your elbows to go to the lower back. So you're gonna prop all the way up on the elbows. Yeah, just like that. Yep. Okay. And then doing 3 to 5 small. So you're feeling a little bit of a stretch there on your lower back while you're doing that. Yes. And then go ahead and lay all the way down. So here, yep, go ahead and bring your feet down. Oh, okay. There you go. So here we have the foam roller on the very tips of the coccyx. So there's a little bit of a distraction to the lower back. And then this should be a nice feel-good stretch. And then so you can hang out here for 5 to 10 slow exhalations, still holding onto the foam roller because you're gonna feel like it's about to come out. And then if you're stretched out enough there, go ahead and bring your knees to your chest. This increases the stretch to that lower back. And again, hanging out here for about 5 to 10 slow exhalations. And then as you've loosened up there, go ahead and straighten your legs, bringing your toes down towards your knees. And this is a great stretch to the whole posterior chain as well. Now, again, holding it for about 5 to 10 exhalations. As you loosen up here, you're gonna draw the toes a little bit further over your head. Yeah. As you tolerate, keeping your knees straight. Sometimes people get really shaky, so it's just a matter of being nice to yourself and working into that stretch. Once you've held it here, say you've held it here for 10 exhalations, which would be about 30 to 60 seconds, I don't want you to stand right back up right away. It's a little too much. So go ahead and take that foam roller out and roll to your side. We're gonna do the flamingo. So the bottom leg is straight, top leg bent, both arms out in front. We have our shoulders and our hips stacked, and they're also in line. So as Jess exhales, then she's gonna take that top arm back behind her, and then so she fully relaxes, having that bottom hand on that top knee. So again, this just helps to relax everything, getting more of that blood circulation even, as opposed to having your feet up, all the blood rushing to your head and then coming up. That increases the risk of passing out. So switching sides, bottom leg straight, top leg bent, both arms out in front, deep breath in. As you exhale, bring that top arm back. If you notice that you are tighter on one side than another on any of these movements, or if you feel like one is more tender than the other, then make sure that you please work 3 times more on the tender, tight side for every 1 time on the not as tight side until they're even. And then also, as you continue to work, thank you, Jess. As you continue to work on the foam roller, mobility in general, when you're combining soft tissue movement, make sure you're getting plenty of water too, so that way you can flush out that inflammation that you're releasing and loosening up those muscles even more effectively. Thanks for your time. Let me know if you have any questions.